From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. It is the 29th of December. Today, tomorrow, and Friday. That's all we got left in this year. We're on day 363 of 365. Hope you are looking as forward to 2022 as I am. Good riddance, 2021. I'm tired of you. Galen Unall from Lifestyle joins us. He does every day, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and Just Ship. Galen, I'm ready for 20. With the 2021 I've had, let's just cancel the last 3 days, and today's 2022. Can we do that?
Yeah, I can respect that. It's not been a great year, and you know I still go back to 2019 was such a good year in so many ways, and here we are 2 years later. We're fighting so many different battles. It seems like on every front, and I we're just tired of fighting and tired of getting attacked.
I will tell you.
Let's just move on.
Let's move on. I will tell you though, with all my trials and tribulations of health issues this year, it got balanced out. Actually, it was a good year for me because I did marry Susan, so that balances it out. That takes care of all the trials and tribulations of my health. At least I have that to look back on 2021 on fondly, as I did marry Susan in 2021. So see how I covered myself there, Galen? See how I did that?
It was well done. Well, and again, in 10 years, hopefully, time heals all wounds. So, but I think a lot of people feel that way. I mean, I think we're just tired of having our lives disrupted. The good news is we're in a state that's open. I know.
Yeah.
There are countries that are.
Australia's still closed.
Yeah, and they're just decided, oh well, we're gonna just be closed forever, and it could be far worse. We could live in New York where they have a much higher positive case than us. I mean, at least our kids are able to go to school, and we're able to go to work, and we're able to go about our lives. There's many people in many states who can't say that. The Kingdom of the Sun's going on, and I talked to a parent last night. They said, we had to transfer our student to a private school just so we could make sure that they were able to go to class. And it's that kind of thing that's just sad. It's the impact this virus has had on our children is going to be
it'll be generational. It'll be generational.
I think it could be bigger than that. As this grows and as the lockdowns, if they do come back and they continue, I think it could be not just generational, but it could be in the history of the country, the biggest impact to our kids. I talk about this all the time, the suicide rate. They released the data finally for 2019. Suicide rate was up 50% in the United States for teenagers from 2020 compared to 2019. Up 50%. Depression, way up. Xanax use is way up. All of these indicators is way up, and it's impacting the what we're supposed to care about most, right, is our children. And get it. It's this virus. It's got a death rate of nearly 2%. So I still don't know what we're talking about. And I don't think I ever will. I've been against it from day one, from lockdowns. The only way you get through a virus like this is to survive it, get the antibodies, and then let's move on. And guess what? Omicron is a gift in that matter. There's very, very low chance of risk. Now, Omicron could turn into pneumonia, different level, but there's very low risk of death. But we're acting like this is smallpox.
By the way, if you are contemplating harming yourself or you need somebody to talk to so you don't, call the suicide hotline at 800-273-8255. It's open 24 hours a day. You can always reach out and talk to somebody. That's 800-273-8255. Here's something ironic. Yesterday was the biggest, largest positivity rate of any day since we found out about COVID in 2020, late 2019, early 2020. Yesterday was the highest positivity rate in the United States ever recorded in a one-day period. Guess what state, ironically, led the nation in infections?
New York.
Maryland.
Oh, really?
Why is that ironic? Oh, wait, the president's from Maryland. His home state, where everything, Delaware, Maryland, Delaware, they're all right there. Delaware is really a subdivision of Maryland.
Well, he's actually given up. He's like, oh, yeah, we can't do anything about it. And again, and you and I have talked about, if you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. But when they come out and say what we said from the very beginning, cloth masks don't work, and this vaccine, what they're hoping that it does is it preps your body so that you don't get as sick. All right, what are we doing? What in the wide world of sports are we doing?
People that aren't
we have to just go about our lives.
People that aren't vaccinated feel a little vindicated now because, you get 2 shots and then you get the booster shot and you still get Omicron. Why did I take 3 shots if I can still get this? I thought the vaccine. No, people are thinking the vaccine's like the smallpox or polio that it's going to cure this virus. There is no cure for a virus. It just helps. Well, all this vaccine does is helps you not get as sick.
There is a vaccine for a virus, for polio, but there is no such thing as a cure.
Right.
Right, the one that comes from an animal, that is animal-based. And we were told early on that it was bats, people eating bat soup.
At a market.
Yeah. They refused to allow anybody to look at the origin of it. And now, it's just fear porn, and the media loves it. And again, we could get rid of COVID in a matter of months if we did 2 things. Quit testing for it. Guess what? Because there's no reason to get tested for it if you don't have symptoms and you're not sick. And the other thing is if we stop this fear mongering.
The CDC said 68% of the Omicron test that they've had positivity tests in this country, 68% for Omicron, are asymptomatic. They'd have never known they had it if they didn't go get tested.
Yeah, and my sister got COVID. She got it. She went in and got her microbial, whatever the heck they call it, treatment. She was out 4 hours later. I talked to her last night. She goes, I feel fine now. Again, we can now treat it, right? And that is a huge victory.
Science is very good. Once you give science a problem, they're very good at finding ways to alleviate or lessen the problem. They're very good at that. And they've had 2 years now. They're getting it's getting a lot better.
Well, we're throwing a ton of money at it. And now, and again, a lot of this is the government gets an opportunity to spend more money. And people are like, well, why is that bad? Well, when they spend that money this year, they want the exact same amount of money next year.
Whether they need it or not.
Without the virus, right, without the virus. And then they control where that money goes. and with money comes power, and now that they get more kickbacks. So again, we need to. Yeah, I mean, we should thank God we live in Florida. Thank God we live in Florida, where our governor is smarter. And and I read an article last night again about how Florida is the reason why Omicron is spreading. And their logic was, well, people went to Florida to visit their loved ones, and then they brought it back home. Okay, all right, okay. If that's your logic, then we're all just why don't we all just go into our corner, lay down in the fetal position, and wait for death?
We need to take a break. We'll come back after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Sold.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, Galen Udall from Life South joins us. Galen, let's switch gears and go to another subject. I'm COVIDed out. So, 85-year-old NFL coaching legend, man won more than 75% of his regular season games. You know, people forget that he was a fantastic football coach before he was quite possibly the best analyst in my lifetime on TV. And then, not only that, but his name is on one of the most popular video games ever to be played. John Madden passes away at 85 years old yesterday. And it was sudden. Nobody saw it coming. It was just, he wasn't ill or anything. He gave out. It was time to go.
Yeah, he's arguably the biggest sports broadcaster, color commentator, in the history of all sports. I
go with that.
The only person who's close to him and is Howard Cosell, right? Howard Cosell was just a massive figure. He was bigger than Al Michaels. He's bigger than Joe Buck. He's bigger than Bob Costas. Bigger than Brent Musburger. Even today, he's still so well regarded because, you know, kids who love sports grew up playing his video game and know his voice, and you know, whether or not you thought he was a great broadcaster or not, that's not the point today. But the impact that he had on our society has been pretty profound because he made sports fun, right? So many of these broadcasters try to take it so seriously, and they break down the X's and O's. And what John was able to do, it's like, this ugly guy is going to hit this ugly guy, and then this fast guy is going to run through the hole, right? And that was charming. And it was fun, right? I mean, he has so many great lines. One knee equals 2 foot, right? I mean, there's so many things like that.
I think your point is very well taken, in that he made football fun for people that didn't necessarily need to know X's and O's. The X's and O's guys, they know football already. Madden wasn't going to help them a whole lot, although he was good at X's and O's. But he explained football, and he made football fun to people who may not have even cared about football. But they would hear this guy and say, man, he sounds like he's having a good time. Maybe I need to see what he's talking about. That was what he did for football. Yeah. That's what he did for the NFL. He brought in the average fan and the casual fan because he explained it and he used terminology. You know, I don't want to say dumbed it down, but he made it where it was enjoyable to watch. It wasn't a science project.
Well, and, you know, they teamed him up with Summerall, and Summerall was very much a straight guy. Even though he was a former player, I think most people don't know that. He did play in the NFL, but he had that beautiful voice, right, that Texas drawl. And then you hear this guy who comes from out at left field. It's got all this energy. And they played off of each other perfectly. And it was just a great combo. They called all the big games. But they started off, you know, when Madden started off, he was like the third guy.
Yeah.
And he moved up the food chain because he was so entertaining. And when you could only get one game, you had to listen to him. And it was fun. He was just a huge figure in the fact that he was scared to fly, and you know, he rode around in his bus.
I'd forgot that part about him, that he had this trepidation about flying. And then I was listening as I was coming into work this morning. I was listening to some sports people talk about it on a podcast about how he would, and I'd forgot how he employed, and actually CBS picked up the bill for that. He had a bus, a very nice bus, and he had a team of drivers so that they would drive 24 hours a day. And you know, you get to thinking about it. If you got a game in California one day, and then you got to get back to the East Coast by Wednesday to start game prep and everything, that's plenty of time. If you got drivers driving 24 hours a day, that bus is moving. You can come across this country from California to the East Coast in, you know, probably 38, 40 hours. And if you got drivers that are, you know, tag teaming and sleeping, and you don't mind the driving of the road, I think it's a much better. I would rather go in a bus than an airplane, to be honest with you.
No, you're there.
I would.
2 hours, 5 hours.
When my wife says when we win the lottery tonight that I have to have a serious discussion about whether I'm coming into work tomorrow or not because of $400 million. But when my wife wins the lottery, because she's guaranteed she's going to win the lottery and make all that money, one of my things, she goes, you get a couple things. What do you want? I go, I want a RV, decked out RV, and I want a driving team so that I can go anywhere in the country, play golf anywhere in the country, anytime I want, and enjoy the open road at the same time. To me, that's better than an airplane, but that's just my personal likes, you know?
It's not like they're gonna sleep with you.
No.
Where do they sleep?
They got their own bunk there in the RV.
Oh, all right.
Got their own
still
bunk.
Sleeping with you.
No, I got the private bedroom in the back. I got the private bedroom in the back.
And the RV bedroom the RV lifestyle is not for me.
I don't know. The last time we were at the World Equestrian Center at an outdoor expo. We went into some of those RVs.
Oh, sure.
Man.
Sure.
RVs have come a long way since the last time I looked at them.
No, I get it. It's just not for me. I have no interest in living in.
Well, no. Here's what I wouldn't have any interest. Somebody goes, what about you? You know, you get 3 of your best buddies and you go on a golfing outing and you go on a golfing tour together in the RV. No. If 3 of my buddies want to go, get your own RV. I'm not packing people in there. I'm talking about me and my wife in the RV with a team of drivers.
So you're just saying you drive that from resort to resort.
Exactly.
leave me in it. It's just your travel.
Exactly. It's my travel mode.
That's a $500,000 chauffeur.
How much is a private jet?
A whole lot more than that.
Thank you. That's my point. And
But that would just fly you anywhere in the world.
And I get to see the country. Yeah, I don't need to leave the United States. I'm good.
Oh, boy.
They got good golf courses in Canada and Mexico. I'm good. I don't need to leave need to leave North America. I'm
All
good.
right. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean the best golf courses in the world are here.
Thank you. The only reason the only place that I would need to leave this continent to go to play golf is in Scotland and Ireland, and I did that in the early '90s when I went over to the University of Edinburgh.
Courses. They're just have a lot of tradition.
Well, they're not great courses. They're just they're out in the middle of hayfields.
Now there's a couple that are in China that are supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, but then you're dealing with slave labor.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
So,
There's some golf courses. You want to know where some great golf courses are? Go to Henderson, Nevada. Right outside of Las Vegas. Oh.
Yes.
There's some golf courses out there. There's some golf courses out there. The only golf course I've seen nicer than one of the golf courses in Henderson is a place called Augusta National. That's the only place I've seen nicer.
Well, you don't see grass for 3 hours, then all of a sudden it's like there's trees, there's grass. It's like, wow.
And you got the backdrop of the mountains and everything. It's just,
oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's amazing. So
playing golf in Vegas is hard for us.
Yes, because it's dry. You got to take your saline with you. Keep your nose moist so you don't end up with nosebleeds. Got to do that.
Oh man, I played in August over there, and I was like
115 degrees. 115 degrees.
I'm fine. You know, and there's fans like in the golf cart, but you just don't sweat.
No. People say it's a different heat. Hot's hot. I don't care what it is. There's no humidity out there, but hot's hot.
Yeah, everything just, you feel like your skin is just drying up.
So yeah,
you feel it.
I could John Madden my way around the country in an RV though, no problem.
I get it. I have no problem with that. I you know, again, I would try to respect everybody's dream. I just don't. That doesn't interest
Remember,
me at all.
he didn't live in the bus. He didn't live in the RV.
No,
he lived in the Four Seasons and the Waldorf Astoria and everything. He just his mode of transportation was on the ground.
But I would much rather buy a Porsche 911 and drive myself around.
Nah.
And then if I stop every 8 hours. If you're talking about seeing the country, you stop somewhere. You stop at a nice hotel, get a good meal, sleep, and then you get up in the morning and you do it again.
Yeah, see, I want to be able to. I want to be able
there for 3 days.
I want to be able to be on the road. If I'm enjoying the ride down the road, pop a Peroni, have a nice Peroni. Can't do that if you're driving.
Yeah,
you can if Gus, the driver that you pay to drive you, is driving. You can do that then.
Well, you can. You just have to pull over and eat, and that where somebody else is prepping them.
Look, let's be honest. Every man that wants to drive across country and everything, no matter whether it's in an RV, a Porsche, whatever it is, it's because we hope to run into Christy Brinkley, like in Vacation. Let's be honest.
Well, that would help. That would help.
Be honest.
But you're not going to see her in your RV. You don't even look out the window.
Oh, no, you can look down on her from the RV.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yeah. I got this figured out, pal.
In my Porsche, I could have kept up with her.
I don't know. That Lambo was pretty good.
In her Ferrari.
Oh, it was
a Ferrari or Lambo?
Ferrari. It was a Ferrari. Yeah, Ferrari.
No, my Porsche's fast. I mean, we're on the public road. We're not going to go that fast.
The Winnebago, not as fast. And it's because
all you are is Cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie is riding with you.
Thank you. I'm okay with that. I like the white patent leather shoes.
All right. Real tomato ketchup.
I like cooking the rib. I like cooking the ribeye on the nuclear rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he didn't do that in the RV. He pulled over.
Let me tell you something.
Do that on my Porsche.
I like the ability to be able to put my hose down a drain in your neighborhood and go ahead and clean out my RV. I like that action.
That's
I like
fine.
that action.
Nothing wrong with that. All
I
right.
like that action.
Man, I just don't. I don't get it. But I will say, John Madden, huge impact. If you think about it, you can ask anybody on the planet right now, and they know who John Madden is.
They know who John Madden is, exactly.
Right, our children know. My kids play Madden. They still play Madden.
We'll talk more. We'll talk more about.
Generations will know that.
We'll talk more about John Madden after this break.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.